So, what culture? Part 1. How they should book WrestleMania. Let me fix it a little bit. I hate that it does this. That's a swivel. There we go. It's better. Alright, let's do this.
Everything burgery tasty.
Hello there, I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and this is how WWE should book. I take an angle from now to the future, then challenge WWE to do it better, because I'm a smart ass. This time around, how WWE should book WrestleMania 32. Number 1, the pre-show matches. I hate the pre-show. I really think you should be able to fit about 2 hours of wrestling onto a 4-hour show without, say, 20-minute concerts from Flo Rida and Triple H's entrances being a Valkyrie rock opera. But I digress. Pre-show matches. First up is a fatal 4-way elimination match between Naomi, Becky Lynch, Natalya, and Paige. And this is for the #1 contendership for the Divas title, because I like it when matches mean something. So these are the 4 best women on the roster who aren't Sasha, and they all deserve a spot on the WrestleMania card. And while it would seem natural to just straight away give this to Becky, not so fast. Now the thing is, there will be loads more matches with Becky Lynch challenging for the Divas title, and let's build up the 4 horsewomen match for SummerSlam, but until that point, let's add a little bit of depth to the roster and make other people seem like main event contenders. And so the winner of this match is Naomi. Now we've seen recently that they are building this feud between Sasha and her Team Bad cohort. Right. Sasha's left Team Bad and they're feeling a little bit grumpy about this. So I would have Paige eliminate Natalya, I would have Becky eliminate Paige, then I would have Naomi use a distraction from Tamina to clock Becky and lock in a brand new submission finisher so that everyone forgets that her original finisher was the goddamn rear view. She hits people with her bum. This then sets Naomi, who's really underrated by the way, on a collision course with the new Divas champion, Sasha. Spoilers. Next up, another fatal 4-way elimination match, this time a tag match for the #1 contendership for the tag team titles. If you're going to have a pre-show, why not link it all together thematically? And this is the Wyatts in the form of Eric Rowan and Luke Harper versus the Usos versus the Dudleys versus Sheamus and Rusev. The Wyatts win this, last eliminating the Usos to give them momentum going into their match with Brock Lesnar. Also, spoilers. Everything burgery tasty, bit derby doo, de tumty. What am I doing? So we start with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale, and basically these guys are in the ring. Look at all these mid-carders. And then we get to the people who actually get entrances, and they are Ryback,
Feed me more.
Well, it's the
big slow.
Then, hallelujah, that will get the pop. I guarantee it. Where is Damien Sandow? Bring him back.
You are right.
And then finally, Daniel Bryan's music hits. Now, I know. To let you know, this video is being filmed on the 9th of February. I know lots changed, so just go with me. And we've just seen Daniel Bryan retire. Now, obviously, the crowd will go crazy, but he comes out wearing a tuxedo, so everyone's like, oh, okay, he's not wrestling. Daniel Bryan is there to say, I've met a lot of people in the wrestling business, a lot of people who are amazing human beings, and this guy is not only a brilliant dude, but he is the next big top WWE superstar. He is my official endorsement. Please welcome to the stage, Sami Zayn. Because passing the torch from Daniel Bryan to Sami Zayn, the most likable man in the world, to the next most likable man in the world, it just makes sense to me. So out comes Sami Zayn, let's go! And he comes down to the ring, and everyone is really happy, and he does that on the entrance ramp, and immediately his shoulder flies off into the crowd, arm flailing through the air. No, obviously, I hope not. So yes, Sami Zayn, after probably having been beaten by Shinsuke Nakamura at TakeOver Dallas, he He's in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and here are a couple of spots from that match. All 4 members of the Social Outcasts eliminating the Big Show early on because, ha ha ha, he's a giant. Braun Strowman, he goes crazy, eliminates a lot of guys. Braun Strowman, like, he's tall. Mark Henry going on a tear. This is important because the announcers are playing up this might be Mark Henry's last ever WrestleMania, and he's a homeboy, Silsby, Texas homeboy, Texas Silsby boy. Homeboy. So the final 4 are number 4, The Miz, who eliminated Damien Sandow, number 5, to really get the heat on The Miz. Then you've got number 3, Braun Strowman, number 2, Mark Henry, and number 1, Sami Zayn. Mark Henry and Braun Strowman get into it in the middle of the ring. Strowman puts Mark Henry in his weird hug, sleeper hold thing. Mark Henry powers out of it, picks him up, world's strongest slam, and then he eliminates Braun Strowman, and in the middle of the ring he holds up the hook 'em horns because Texas, and then from behind The Miz low blows him, eliminates Mark Henry, and then he throws up the hook 'em horns because dickhead, which leaves The Miz versus Sami Zayn. The Miz is posturing, he's like, you should get out of here because I'm great, I got the face, and then Sami Zayn haluva kicks him right the f*** into the front row. Bye! Sami Zayn wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Daniel Bryan comes out to celebrate with Sami Zayn, the 2 biggest underdogs in the world, celebrating at the beginning of WrestleMania. Huzzah. Welcome to the main roster, Sami Zayn. Then comes match number 2, a triple threat for the IC title, AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens. So as of filming, remember it's on the 9th of February, AJ and Chris Jericho are getting into a thing. Chris Jericho's come back looking like the world's worst magician dad, and him and AJ are having a bit of a friendly rivalry, although they have started brawling a lot. So at the moment they're scheduled for a rematch on SmackDown. Of course, this should boil over with Jericho turning heel on AJ Styles, and that leads to a match at Fastlane, which Styles wins with the Styles Clash. After Fastlane, however, Kevin Owens is a new Intercontinental Champion, I'll explain that later, and AJ Styles sets his sights on him after he eliminated him from the Royal Rumble. However, heel Jericho is now heel, and he won't let up, claiming that Styles almost broke his neck, playing off the fact that Styles Clash is a really dangerous move in real life, and heel Jericho goes after his 10th IC title reign. So AJ Styles wins the #1 contenders match for the IC title on Raw, and Chris Jericho worms his way in with the authority to get himself added to the match, so it's a triple threat between 3 amazing workers. After a nice long match, Jericho cheats to win, pinning AJ Styles, and now Chris Jericho at WrestleMania, maybe his last, who knows, Chris Jericho is the 10-time Intercontinental Champion, which is a nice round number and a good record for people.
I was just thinking about that.
People complaining that's AJ being buried at WrestleMania. First of all, AJ's going to be around for years, and now he's got a nice long feud with Chris Jericho ahead of him. Next up, it's the tag team title match. It's the New Day versus Enzo and Big Cast. So it's been reported that these guys are hanging out backstage on Raw and SmackDown, and these guys, after Fastlane, debut. The New Day come out after a big kind of multi-tag team match at Fastlane, and they say, we've beaten everyone on the roster. Booty. Now, who is left to step up to the New Day? Come on out and introduce yourself. Out comes Enzo Amore and Big Cass. My name is Enzo Amore. So the New Day use their numbers advantage to constantly beat down Enzo and Cass and remind everyone that these guys were a mainstay on NXT but could never win the tag team titles. They bring up TakeOver London, they bring up the fact they've been there for years, longer than any other tag team, and could never get it done. So, WrestleMania, out comes Enzo, my name is Enzo Amore, with everyone joining in. What a sight to be seen. Then out come the New Day as the champions, doing their own version of that shtick. And this right here is Big E, and he's #booty, and you can't teach that. At the end of the match, Enzo and Big Cass finally unseat the New Day to become the tag team champions, finally winning the big one on the biggest stage of them all. Next up, it wouldn't be WrestleMania without a huge multi-man ladder match, and this one is for the US
New Day
title.
doesn't need the title.
So we've got Kalisto, Ziggler, Cody Rhodes, not Stardust, Del Rio, Sin Cara, and Neville. Yes, all of those. Now, this is part of a plan to make the US title a little bit more of a flippy title, a little bit more cruiserweight. Because there's no real point in having US versus Intercontinental title. I mean, they're both secondary titles. You need to give each belt its own flavor. I mean, if the WWE World Heavyweight title is the one for the big, powerhouse, superstars, if the IC title is the one for the technicians, then why not have the US title be for the cruiserweights? Or, for the people who are just slightly more aerobic and slightly more impressive. And we use this ladder match to showcase that. Kalisto goes in as a champion, and his big rivalry is with Del Rio still, and this would seem mad, but I would actually have Sin Cara walk away with the belt. Now, I know Sin Cara's been something of like a vacuum for, ages, but why not try and change that? And, the Lucha Dragons can't last forever. Kalisto is going to be his own man. He is the rightful heir to Rey Mysterio, so what better way to kind of push that along than with a proper breakup of the Lucha Dragons. So Del Rio is lying on the outside of the ring on this ladder, and Kalisto is climbing to the top, and he's almost got the belt when Sin Cara calls up to him and convinces Kalisto to jump on Del Rio, the bad blood between the two guys. And Kalisto says, come on, jump, steal the show, steal WrestleMania. Kalisto can get the biggest spot of the card, but he sacrifices himself to do it after urging from Sin Cara. And then Sin Cara looks down at his fallen friend who's gone straight through the ladder, through Del Rio, and he looks at him, looks at the belt, climbs to the top, and retrieves it. So the announcers can be like, what the hell? Sin Cara what did he just do to his tag team partner? Then, at Extreme Rules, maybe a mask versus mask situation, because why not? So we end part one of this video with a match, the first main event of WrestleMania, that no one thought was going to happen, which is Stephanie McMahon versus Ronda Rousey. In Steph's corner, her weird old dad, Vince McMahon. In Ronda Rousey's corner, The Rock.
Figured that.
Now, loads of people think this isn't going to happen, mostly because Dana White came out and said, this isn't going to happen. But after it's come out that Ronda Rousey and Holly Holm are not going to have their rematch in July, Ronda Rousey instead is going to be filming Roadhouse, a movie she can shill at WrestleMania, by the way, then it frees up her to do a little bit of something like this. And obviously, Dana White is a showman. He knows where the money is. He knows what he can get out of this deal. If by getting Ronda Rousey, WWE have to say UFC 20 times in about 20 minutes, then they're going to do it. I mean, they're not going to make Ronda look stupid. They're going to make her look incredibly dominant. They can build up a rematch with Holly Holm. They can build up Roadhouse. Basically, no one loses here. And there's one important thing that this match accomplishes, which is Steph get some comeuppance. Now, a lot of people's problem with Steph as this huge heel figure is that in this era where it's incredibly frowned upon for men to put their hands on women, and rightfully so, I don't think anyone really wants to see that on TV, Stephanie McMahon gets no comeuppance. Sure, she gets a little bit embarrassed at times, vicariously through her husband being beaten up, or, that brief month where the Authority was fired, a month. But she never gets any lasting physical comeuppance. No one ever hands her ass for being a biatch. There's never any proper cathartic retaliation, and Steph can exploit this. She can come out with her weird old leather coin purse of a dad and being like, no one can touch me, or I'll have them all fired. She brings up what happened last WrestleMania with Ronda Rousey, and she said, well, Ronda, look what happened to you since. I haven't been beaten since then. Have you? She stepped to me, and now a year later, not so bad anymore. So Steph is reveling in her power, and then out comes The Rock. It just so it turns out The Rock has been training a new protege. No, not Roman Reigns. He's Poison. He's actually been training up for wrestling Ronda Rousey. Now, The Rock's full motivations will be explained in the next video, but needless to say, he has a reason for wanting to see the Authority get their ass kicked. And he's been helping out Ronda. Now, worked for Tyson when he was at his low, the company brought him in, and he did great work for the company and vice versa. And that's why Ronda Rousey is here. So, WrestleMania. Rousey versus McMahon. Obviously, McMahon stacks the deck. She brings in as many female bodyguards as she can. Ronda Rousey goes through each and every one of them, and then she finally makes Stephanie McMahon tap out to an armbar in the middle of the ring. And for good measure, Vince McMahon eats a rock bottom from The Rock. The Rock and Rousey connection stand tall, and that is the end of part 1. How do you think WrestleMania is going so far? Tell me about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter here. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and I'll see you very soon.
And I'm going to say at the end of every video that I react to of his, WWE, make him part of your creative team. Make him an offer, because he can only make you better. Because some of this, I ain't going to talk trash, you know. Look, y'all have had some absolutely excellent storylines over the years, but things kind of dry now. By the way, y'all, did you see the post? Stone Cold Steve Austin actually saw my impression of his ass and he liked it. It's on his Twitter, y'all. That's right. Hey, I never thought Stone Cold would see me impersonating him and actually like it. I figured he's too busy. He's too big. He's too busy hunting, drinking beers and kicking people's asses to see my video, and he actually saw it. So that was really cool. Thank you, Steve Austin. I'm so glad that you saw it, and I'm so glad that you liked it. Post all your comments down below. Let me know what you all thought. This was pretty good. I think that the Divas match, that was a good one. That stood out in my head. The whole Ronda Rousey and Stephanie, you know, with The Rock and with Vince, that would be pretty good. The Kalisto and Sin Cara thing, that angle's pretty good. The only match I didn't really care that much about was like the one with the tag teams in it. But I thought it was a good idea to have New Day lose their titles, because they actually don't need them. You know what I mean? Because they're already doing their own thing. They don't need them to be A1. They're already doing their thing. So he's got some good ideas as usual. Yeah, 1 million subscribers. Woo!